No, good afternoon. You guys don't look at your time. It's afternoon already. I think I'm given the leverage to speak until the evening because the two speakers before me have spoken. So that's been between now and 6 o'clock is my time. Right. I'm going to be brief because we have to be out of this place. I still have to go to Mpumalanga. But I appreciate that you guys are here to listen to us giving you free information on the topic of divorce. And I hope you guys can see that I'm representing Valentine's very well. So that means I stand for love, not for divorce, right? I don't want to risk a repetition of what my colleagues have said. But one sentence of what I'm going to be talking about, I'm more like the bad guy. I come in to help those that wants to have the other party in a divorce forfeiting or losing a benefit that is due to them. I'm the bad guy, the sheriff of the topic. How many of you know that even if parties are married in common of property, you can still lose in part or in total or totally the part that is due to you in a marriage? How many of you know that? She wants to cry. She didn't know. She's like, what? Yes, you can lose it. So you see, that's what my colleagues didn't say. That look, the fact that you've got this antenuptial contract that says out and out or out and in, or you don't have one, which is mean you are deemed to be in common of property. When the divorce day comes, and then they come to some lawyers who are maybe like me, say, okay, no, we want Johannes to lose whatever claim he's got on your estate. It's possible. The Divorce Act in Section 9 stipulates briefly on what is called a forfeiture of patrimonial benefits during the course of divorce. And I can assure you many attorneys don't look at that section of the Divorce Act. But it's part of our law. And members of the public are not ordinarily advised that in as much as you are being divorced, you might end up getting 75% of the entire assets, and whoever divorces you gets 25% or even nothing at all. Shrewd, right? But it's nice as well, isn't it? You see, the forfeiture principle is based on common law. The common principle is that one should not benefit from a divorce that he has caused. Or one should not benefit from a marriage that he has killed. That's a common law principle. Then the statutory principle that supports this common law submission is that there ought to be at least 3 things that you prove before you can say you are entitled to a forfeiture. Amongst the things that, look, you don't have to prove all 3. If you prove 1 and successfully, you are in. So another problem we have is that people think, hey, there's a lot that needs to be proven in order to have my husband losing part of all that is or is due to him. 1, you need to prove that there was substantial misconduct on the part of the person who caused the marriage to break down. And the word substantial misconduct is not defined. It's just English, combination of substance and misconduct. So it differs from case to case. Nah? I'm going to make a simple example. If you go on Google, you check the case of MC versus JC. It's a recent case, 2017, was finalized by Judge Lehodi last year. The husband this time, unfortunately, successfully claimed a forfeiture of 35% by the defendant, the spouse, the woman. After they've been married for 26 years, the woman cheated. Just for cheating, the judge said, no, it's enough. And many people think cheating is not a cause because Judge Tuchten and Fabricius in 2016, I think the judgment is still in the Constitutional Court, they found that infidelity is not a substantial ground for divorce. To say the fact that you are cheating on your spouse is not enough for a judge to grant a divorce. And people forget that the fact that you have brought a divorce application, it doesn't mean it will be granted. There are divorce cases where the judge refuses to grant them. So, no, this marriage is not a river broken down. This marriage can still be fixed. They say, no, we went for counseling. Yeah, but they say you also must go to your ancestors. Yeah, there are divorces that get to be declined by judges. But look, one part says infidelity is not a ground enough for divorce, but it's a ground enough to have a party forfeiting a benefit. How's that? I like that. It's meant to protect women, but these days it seems women cheat more than men. Because this case is a locus classicus, but it's against a woman. She's been married to this guy for 26 years, MC versus JC. She's married for 26 years and then she cheats. Then the judge says, no, you must forfeit. So you must know that. How many of you are married here? So be careful before you cheat. You might lose everything that you work for. So before you claim that it's 50-50, as Clifford said, you must remember, if you are a cause, you stand a chance of losing the so-called benefit that you think is due to you. The second aspect to that is, I'm not going to talk to you guys as if I'm giving you full legal advice. Ne? I say to you there are 3, but I'll give you 2 so that the third one you must pay for when you go to a lawyer. You see, I'm not going to say come to us, but go to a lawyer. The duration of the marriage. It is important. The second aspect, the judge said we need to look at the duration of the marriage. For how long have these parties been married before the divorce was lodged? There's a case of LJ and LJ. You know, when they report divorce cases, they use initials. Ne? LJ mean Johan Jobert or something. That one is a recent case of 2019 as well. These parties were married for merely 3 months. 3 months. Now they want to divorce. Guess what was the reason for the divorce? We don't have time for each other. We're both working hard. Things are happening, eh? Read that case, you'll be surprised. They didn't have time for each other. The husband says, look, I knock off at 8 o'clock. The woman says, okay, I knock off at 6. And when I get home, I'm tired. When you come home, it's 10 o'clock. And then you want to touch me and I'm tired. You want me to cook for you and I'm tired. And then the woman says the same as well. Right. The ground there was, we don't have time for each other, and therefore made the court grant a divorce 3 months after they got married. How nice is that? So it goes back to confirm what Judge Tuchten has found, that loss of love is also not a factor in a divorce proceeding. People who love each other, they still divorce. I've seen in court people, they divorce out, they go outside, they kiss each other, and then they say, let's go have lunch. After divorce, yes, it happens. The fact that people divorce, it does not mean they don't love each other. So, this aspect of forfeiture in divorce or during the course of divorce is meant to ensure that a party does not unduly benefit on a divorce that he has substantially caused to fail, or on a marriage that he has caused to fail. So I'm telling Cornwell before he gets married that he must stop certain things, because otherwise he's going to lose everything. There's one thing that we also need to talk about in the last 5 minutes of my submission that I think it is also important. Maintenance. Do you know that parties in marriages are contesting nothing more than but maintenance? Because at the end of the day, whether you consent to a divorce or you do not, there are kids that have to be looked after when the two of you are apart. And at some point you find that even the woman or the man, this time even the man, do you know that if you divorce him, you are also eligible, or you can be ordered to maintain him for the next 6 months. Yes, for 6 months. There are two forms of post-marriage or post-divorce maintenance. One is called rehabilitation maintenance, the other is called spousal maintenance. The spousal maintenance is applicable to a spouse who had no income during the course of the marriage, but who contributed to the sustenance of the estate. So that partner can be able to say, look, I have not worked, I was looking after this man, and then now he's divorcing me. I want him to maintain me for the next 6 months. So spousal maintenance is applicable to both men and women. Although a lot of guys, let's be honest, they are afraid to go to court and claim spousal maintenance. I once met a guy in Witbank court in 2017 or so. He was even hiding on the corridor. He's calling me. I'm like, what's wrong? He said, I'm here to claim maintenance, but I'm afraid they will laugh at me. I'm like, what the heck? But I can tell you now, 2019 we found that there's an increasing number of men who are claiming maintenance than women. Increasing number. How's that for likely? So, the aspect dealing with forfeiture is also meant to curb people who enter marriages with a view of wanting to benefit as soon as the marriage goes down. That's why the question of duration comes in. There are parties who say, okay, because of sister, she's a manager at Transnet, she's got a fat pension fund, she's been working for 16 years, I'm just going to marry her, I'll just spend 4 months with her, then I'm divorcing her. And remember, ordinarily, ladies are too soft, they don't want to contest these things. They'll just say, okay, it's fine, take and go. 8 years of her pension is gone, just like that. And this is happening a lot these days. I know many guys who are saying, look, if I can get that woman, she's married, I know, if I can just get a chance to marry her for 2 months, I'm fine for life. So gold digging is not only limited to women. Also men, they go underground and dig the gold. So rehabilitation maintenance is applicable as well to both women and men. How does the court treat the issue of rehabilitative maintenance? You find out in the course of your marriage, you were working fine, and then all of a sudden things go bad. And the other party continues to, support you, contribute to the living. And at the time of divorce, you don't really need money from your spouse who's divorcing you. You say, no man, I just need to be rehabilitated so I can have a small income. Just for me to either start a small business or, as the Nigerians say it, so I can manage, so they can manage. So rehabilitative maintenance goes, the longest I've seen was 3 months. I have not seen a rehabilitative maintenance beyond 3 months. I don't know, maybe Randan, you have argued for a rehabilitative maintenance for longer than 3 months. I have not seen it for longer than 3 months. Spousal maintenance goes up to 6 months. So the court will say, okay, look, you are able to give this person at least 10,000. This person says, if you give this, remember, rehabilitative maintenance is not for living. It's to help this person to get back on his or her feet. I was able to sell tomatoes, but things didn't go well. So if you can help me to now sell water for the next 3 months, but you don't get this rehabilitative maintenance and spousal if you didn't claim it in the papers that Clifford talks about. You can't get a divorce after that. You go back and say, no, I want rehabilitative maintenance. You must claim it at a time the divorce is lodged. Same applies with forfeiture. You cannot claim it outside the divorce. You claim it at the time you lodge the divorce. So, I'm the bad guy. I'm helping you to claim. I think I'll get these two guys